Okay, welcome back. We are into the final part of our video series on problem 11-1A. We've got sum of the year's digits, which in my mind is the quirkiest of the depreciation methods. It's another accelerated method, so it tries to depreciate the asset. Well, it doesn't try. It succeeds in depreciating the asset quickly. So same fact pattern. It's still Martinez Construction. They still buy the asset, 92 grand price plus delivery and installation. So it's really a $95,000 asset, all the costs to make it useful for us. So that's our cost. Our residual value, our salvage value remains the same at 11,000, and our starting point using sum of the year's digits is this depreciable cost number, which is the same as it was for straight line and units of production. The depreciable cost is $84,000. Now, the years matter for sum of the year's digits. And I always start with a little New Year's Eve countdown. I count down the number of years. I go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy accounting problem. And I sum that list. I got a cough. So I add this list up. 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. I get 15. That is the sum of the year's digits. And the math is, well, in the first year, so in year 1 of ownership, I take 5/15 of my asset in depreciation. In year 2, 4/15. Year 3, 3/15. Year 2, 2/15. And year 1, or sorry, I counted backwards. Year 4, year 5. I got twisted there. Year 5, I take 1/15. Good grief. So of my depreciable cost for depreciation. So 5/15 times 84,000, 4/15 times 84,000, and so on. So in year 1 of ownership of the asset, 5/15 times 84,000, 28,000. Year 2, 4/15 times 84,000, 22,400. Year 3, 3/15 times 84,000, 16,800. Year 4, 2/15 times 84,000, 11,200. And 1/15 times 84,000, $5,600. Now, if I happen to buy the asset right at the beginning of my year, which happens in accounting questions, right? Oh, I bought the asset January 1st, and look at that, my fiscal year ends December 31st. I own it for a full year. This would be it. This would be year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'd be oh so very happy right now. This method is quirkiest when you buy it in the middle of the year. We bought it on April 1st. Our fiscal year is December 31st. And therefore, we don't take 28,000. We're going to need to take 9/12 of that number or whatever, however many, it is 9/12, right? So we're going to have to take 9/12. But it's years 2, 3, 4 that it gets a little weird. And I have to make a table to keep this straight in my head. So the left-hand column is for the fiscal year. So fiscal year, and so fiscal year ended December 31st, 2031, 2032, 2033, 2034, 2035, and 2036. My financial year end, the year ended December 31st. This column is going to be for my asset year. And I'm going to have year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and year 5. And we need to remember our asset year doesn't match our fiscal year, because our asset year, this year 1 of the asset is April 1st, 2031 to January, February, March, to March 31st, 2032. It's 365 days later. This one is April 1st, 2032 to March 31st, 2033, and so on. And what you're seeing is our fiscal year cuts right down the middle, right? Our fiscal year is December 31st. It's sort of partway through. And so what we end up getting is a series of partial years that I need to track on I need to do a table that looks like this to track it. Now, your textbooks might do it a little differently. This is how I keep things straight in my dopey head, and hopefully it'll help you keep things straight in your smart head, I'll say. I also want to call them for total. Okay. So year one, just to remind ourselves, it's $28,000, right? Year two, 22,400. You don't need to write this. This is just, again, I don't think it's wrong to write it. This helps me. It might help you. 11,200 and 5,600. And of course, the total should be 84,000. Yeah, 84,000. Okay. So in fiscal 2031, how much of this year one depreciation happened in fiscal 2031? And the answer is, well, April to December, 9/12. So I'm going to take 9/12 of this 28,000. So I go 9 divided by 12 times 28,000. 21,000. Okay, that's easy enough. Did anything else happen in 2031? Did I get any of year two ownership? And the answer is no. In 2031, year two started April 1st, 2032, ran to March 31st, 2033. None of that happened in 2031. So that's it for 2031. So we're done. 2031. Total is 21,000. Easy peasy. Well, some of my year one depreciation, my asset year one depreciation, happened in 2032. December to March, 3/12 of that number happened in 2032. So I got to apply 3/12 to it. So 28,000 times 3 divided by 12, 7,000. Well, what about year, and that's it, right? The total depreciation here is 28,000, and now I've applied it, right? Some of it happened in 2031, some happened in 2032. So that 28,000 is done. What about the 22,400? Well, some of that happened in 2032, April 1st, 2032 to fiscal year end, and the answer is it's 9 months. 9/12 of this one happened in 2032, so 22,400 times 9 divided by 12, 16,800. The rest happened in 2033, 3/12, January, February, March of 2033. So 3/12 times 22,400 is 5,600. And again, I can add this up and say 16 plus 5,600 is 22,400. And it is, right? The numbers work. So there you go. Year three, exactly the same. 9/12 of that happened in 2033. 3/12 happened in 2034. Year four, same deal. 9/12. I'm trying to squeeze this so I can fit it all. 9/12. How do I want to do this? 9/12, 3/12. Year five, same deal. 9/12. And 3/12 happen in 2036. Okay, so let's do the math. 16,800 times 9/12, 12,600. 16,800 times 3/12, 4,200. And the total is 16,800. 11,200. 11,200 times 9/12. 8,400. And 11,200 times 3/12. 2,800. And that does, in fact, add to 11,200. Okay, last bit here. 2035 gets 9/12 of year 5, 5,600. 4,200. And 3/12 goes to the next year. 3/12 times 5,600. 1,400, and that does in fact add to 5,600. Now, the key number is actually this totals column. So 2032 gets some of the assets first years of life and some of the assets second year of life. The total it gets in 2032 is 23,800. That is my depreciation expense for the year. 5,600 plus 12,600, 5,600 plus 12,600. That's the depreciation that goes in 2033. 4,200 plus 8,400. 12,600. 2,800 plus 4,200, that's 7,000, and 1,400 plus 0, that's 1,400. And let's just add this up and make sure. 21,000 plus 23,800 plus 18,200 plus 12,600 plus 7 plus 1,400. Great news, 84,000. We have sort of attributed our depreciation expense. Well, at least the total certainly makes sense. That's the total we were looking to see. One other thing to just sort of have a look at. In 2031, we sort of say 9 months worth of depreciation for the year, right? 9/12. All these other ones, it's 3 plus 9, 3 plus 9, 3 plus 9, 3 plus 9. It's 12 months, 12 months, 12 months, 12 months. And in the final year, it's 3 months. And sure enough, that does add up to 60 months, which is about where, not about where, is exactly where we need to be. Okay, so let's fill this into the table. Let me just, I'll do it kind of at a zoomed out here, and then I'll zoom in on the table and we'll discuss some of the year's digits. 21,000, 23,800, 18,200. 12,600, 7,000, and 1,400 for a total of 84,000. Okay, sort of summarizing here, the first two are, well, actually the first one is by far the most widely used. It's the most straightforward. It's the simplest, and a lot of companies have the philosophy of like, let's keep it simple, which certainly makes sense and speaks to me. I appreciate the simplicity of straight line. Units of production, the more you use it, the more you depreciate it. Double declining in some of the years digits say, we got to depreciate this asset faster in the early years and slower in the later years. Now, they do it a little differently, but they both sort of succeed at that task of being more aggressive types of depreciation. The final thing I just want to leave you with is don't lose sight of the fact that these all feed journal entries. The journal entry, debit depreciation expense, credit accumulated depreciation for any of these methods. A real company might use different methods for different assets, but they wouldn't do 4 different methods for the same asset, right? They're going to choose a method for the asset. So this is an accounting exercise that has you practice different methods, but we wouldn't do this for one asset at our company. We might do it for several different assets, but we wouldn't do it for one. But there you go. You made it to the end of the whole thing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. The next video in our series is right up here, and if you want a supercut of all of the videos in this series, that's the one down below.